Hello everyone, CaddywhumpusGamer here, bringing you another episode of Minecraft Awakening. Today's episode is going to be on Botania. We are going to be making a Runic Altar and a Rosa Arcana. Alright, I saved up a bunch of mana here. The way I did that was I had a couple of the seeds that you can use to make enchanted soil, so I stuck down a couple of hydrangeas, and then I chunk loaded the area. If you don't know how to chunk load, you hit E to bring up your menu. Then you click on this thing here that looks like a map that says Claim Chunks. Alright, now if you click, it'll have green chunks. So if you're on a server, you can protect areas so that nobody can mess with them, like that. Now, if you hold Control and click, you can have a chunk loaded one. Now, if you look down here in the bottom right-hand corner, you can only have 5 loaded chunks and 100 claimed chunks. And let's see. Oh, right click to get rid of it. There you go. So I chunk loaded this. I think this, nah, that one looks like it's okay. And I also chunk loaded my nether portal and my mob farm. Actually, no, I didn't. Why do I have those chunk loaded? Oh, that's right, because I had a furnace in here. That's why I had that chunk loaded. I forgot. Okay, so first things first, one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a table down here. This is from Thaumcraft. Right click it with the wand. This gives you this type of the arcane crafting table, because in order to craft the Runic Altar, we need, it's an arcane crafting, and it takes 5 ordo. Alright, so this is a block of mana diamond, a silver rune. Now to get that, you use a block of silver and a chisel, and then you choose the rune one. Then we're going to add 4 living rock, and you can see I have the 5 that I need. I actually made a couple of gold banded greatwood wands. They hold 50 of each, and then I charge them at my mob spawner. Alright, so we're going to grab the Runic Altar like this, and what we're going to need is a mana spreader. If you place a mana spreader next to a mana pool, it will pull from the mana pool, and it will send it wherever you tell it to. So we're just going to put this here. We're going to shift right click. So now it will put the mana into the Runic Altar. Alright, now we need to make a Rune of Mana, which is a mana pearl, a mana powder, a mana diamond, mana infused string, and mana steel. Let's see, I don't have mana steel right this second. So let's make some of that. Alright, now with these, you just right click and it'll put the item on, and it actually floats around like this. It looks really cool. So mana pearl, are these diamonds? No. Or they're diamonds, not mana diamonds. Alright, one of those. A string. Let's see, pearl string, don't have the powder yet. We'll put that there. We need a tin rune, which you just use a tin block and a chisel. Put that in there. It needs a blank rune. Alright, and you can see there's a little X there, and that means that it needs to charge up. And then I'll get what's on the right hand side, which is a mana rune, which this looks like it might take a little while. Let's put another one of these here and here, and then we can just feed in from both mana pools, and then it'll go faster. So basically you just sit here and wait. It's really cool animation. As you get closer to the end, you'll see like lightning bolts and stuff. And to finish this off, we will need to toss a living rock on top of it, and then right click it with our Wand of the Forest. I really like the animations and stuff that go with the Botania mod. They add a lot to it. Okay, well, while we're waiting for that, we can go over here to one of these petal apothecaries, and we can see we need 2 pinks, 2 purples, and a lime. So 2 purples, 2 pinks, a lime, and then all we'll need is the mana rune, and then toss the seeds in. Okay, so we're 3/4 there. With Thaumcraft, I did go and do some different researches and stuff. I actually went and left my mob farm running all night last night. If you're one of those people, you plan on single if you're a person who plays on a single player world, I'll get it right, and you don't like leaving your computer hooked to the internet or whatever, you can actually just pull out your Ethernet cord from the back of the computer or turn your Wi-Fi off or whatever, and you can still run, you know, with your world offline and leave it running all night. I did that with my mob farm. I came back, I think I got over 300 and some levels of XP, and I also had over 200 knowledge fragments. Alright, so let's see. You're just going to toss a living rock on top, like that, and then just right click. Alright, so now we got 2 of those. So now if we throw one of these in here, and then we throw a seed in, we get the Rosa Arcana. Alright, so now if I put this down, I use a separate mana spreader just specifically for this flower, because it outputs mana at such a high rate that you will need just a separate mana spreader just for it. So what I do is I just put one down, link it to a pool, then I put this flower down, and it automatically links to the nearest one, but I make sure. So that looks good, that looks good. Now if we stand next to this, you can see it pulls my XP out, and it turns it into mana, and then just shoots it into the mana pool. Now this thing here, this mana spreader is full. I should have brought more XP. Let's run down to the mob farm. I did change the mob farm around a little bit. And I added in some storage. These I need to make way better upgrades for. They filled up over the night. Alright, looking good. Okay, where'd I put my experience? Ah, there it is. Think I got enough bottles of enchanting. Now the Rosa Arcana, if I can get up this ladder. I have haste 3 on my boots, so it can be a little bit annoying sometimes because you move way faster than you think you should. Alright, now this can pick up, or this can drain levels from your inventory. Not your inventory, from your personal XP. Or it will actually pick up experience orbs that are nearby. Or it's supposed to. It's really just easier to just stand next to it and let it drain your levels. Those jars are probably really loud. Anyway, so this is a way to actually just turn your XP directly into mana, because later on you are going to need a lot of mana to do some of the items. I did, I don't know if I mentioned this before, I got health bonus 3 on my chest plate, and it looks like that's the only thing you can get it on is a chest plate, because I got it on a book and tried to put it on one of my other pieces of armor, and it wouldn't let me. But that actually, you can see in the bottom where I actually have 13 hearts now instead of 10, so that's really cool, because later on we can get up to 40 hearts with the heart containers from Tinker's Construct, so we can have a total of like 43 hearts. So I'm really looking forward to when we can do that. One of the things we needed in order to do that was the Runic Altar. Oops, no, shift right click to get items off of it. You can stick like any items you want in here, whether or not they're used in the recipe. Now that looks pretty cool. And I gotta clear some stuff out of my inventory. Alright, because we needed this, because one of the things, some people don't know this. Okay, let's look. Heart. You need the red ones from Tinker's Construct to make the first level of heart containers. And I know they're in here. Right here. You need the miniature red hearts. Now those are like stupid, insane, expensive to make. They take Jasper blocks. Okay, these I think you find in the Nether. They might be the overworld. I'm not sure, but they are rare. And Spark's easy enough to get, Block of Flesh is easy enough to get. But the easier way to do it is you can turn hardcore hearts into miniature red hearts, which means you can take yellow hearts and you can use the Runic Altar. It's 4 files of Essentia, an Essence of Entanglement, and a Spark. And you can use the Runic Altar and turn that into 2 hardcore hearts, which you can then craft into the red hearts. So 1 yellow heart can make 2 red hearts, and it's pretty easy to do that way. And then you can use, you know, the red ones to craft these red heart containers. And then you're going to need red heart containers to craft the yellow ones, and then you're going to need yellow ones to craft the green ones. So all said and done, you're going to need like 30 red hearts, I think. And I've only managed to get 1 of these as a mob drop, even though I've used a full looting 3 sword for like a long time on mobs. Alright. So now we have, between this giving me passive mana all the time and the Rosa Arcana, you can see that just drains my XP like really fast. Now, if I had a better spreader here, like if we look, spreader. Now, if we were to get like a Gaia mana spreader, these things are like really, really good. I had a thing set up one time. It was like multiple pools with sparks so that like everything went into a pool and then got drained into the rest. And it was like this big battery thing that I had set up. But I actually had 8 of these Rosa Arcanas in a circle, and then a Gaia spreader for each one of them. And then I would just drop down in the center and it would just drain my XP and make this massive amount. Now, the reason you want a massive amount of mana, or at least the reason you would in the past, was because there was a pick. And unfortunately, it's not in this pack. It has been disabled as far as I know. But it used to be the more mana you put into it, it would charge it and level up and tier up. So, you know, it might be like, you know, 1,000 mana for the first level, 10,000 for the next one, then 100,000, 1,000,000, 10 million, 100 million, a billion, like that. And it would tier up and you would get like this massive, like every time it would spread how many blocks that it would be able to mine at one time. So you could do like a massive, like, what was it, 7x7, I want to say, maybe more than that. But it was a really, really nice pick. But unfortunately, it's not in this pack. But you will use the mana for other things. Alright, I think that's enough for today's episode. I know it's a little bit shorter than most of the other episodes, but I did want to just show that because turning XP into mana, once you get this and you have a mob farm going, you can get a decent amount of mana whenever you want it. Alright, so that's it for this episode. Until next time, this is CaddywhumpusGamer signing off.